All right, so you ready to dive into the world of crypto?
Absolutely. Always ready to explore this fascinating world.
It really does feel like we're witnessing a financial revolution in action.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And the pace of innovation is just incredible.
You've been digging deep into the origins of Bitcoin. What have you uncovered there?
Well, it's interesting how Bitcoin emerged from the cypherpunk movement.
The cypherpunks. Remind me about them again.
Yeah, so they were a group advocating for privacy and individual freedom using cryptography as their main tool. Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin's mysterious creator, came from this world.
Satoshi Nakamoto, what a legend. I mean, no one even knows who they
All
are.
right. It just adds to the mystique. But the vision was clear, a decentralized financial system free from control of governments and institutions.
Wow, so it's about more than just a digital currency. It's a whole new way of thinking about financial power.
It really is. And that's where blockchain technology comes in.
Ah, yes, blockchain. Always hear that word, but still feels a bit mysterious to me. Can you break it down for us?
Sure, think of it as a public digital ledger.
Okay, a ledger, like a record of transactions.
Exactly. But instead of being stored in one central location, it's distributed across a network of computers worldwide. Every transaction is recorded in a block, and these blocks are chained together, creating a permanent and transparent record.
Hmm. Okay, I'm starting to see the picture. But couldn't someone just hack into one of those computers and change the records? I mean, is it really that secure?
That's the beauty of it, the brilliance of the blockchain. To alter a transaction, you'd have to change every single copy of the blockchain on every single computer in the network simultaneously. Virtually impossible.
So it's like having a million witnesses to every transaction.
That's a great way to put it. And that trust is a major driver of excitement around cryptocurrency.
Okay, I can see the appeal. But what about all the hype around investing? Is that where most of the interest comes from?
Well, it's definitely part of it. Bitcoin has seen massive returns over the years, attracting a lot of attention.
Yeah, I've heard stories. But I understand there are tons of cryptocurrencies out there, not just Bitcoin.
You got it. There are thousands, each with its own unique features and potential.
So it's more than just replacing dollars and euros with digital tokens. It's a whole ecosystem of innovation.
Absolutely. We're seeing things like DeFi or decentralized finance, essentially recreating financial services on the blockchain. Things like lending, borrowing, even insurance.
Wait, so you're telling me I could get a loan without a bank?
That's the idea behind DeFi, creating a more open and accessible financial system, empowering individuals. But of course, it has its own risks and challenges.
Speaking of risks, what about the volatility of the crypto markets? That seems to be a big concern.
Yeah, volatility is definitely a factor. Prices can swing dramatically, and it's important to approach investments with caution and a long-term view.
So no get-rich-quick schemes here. Got it.
Not at all. It's about understanding the tech, the potential, and the risks involved. It's a learning curve, for sure.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of Bitcoin, blockchain, and the allure of investment. But you mentioned Ethereum earlier. What makes it stand out?
Well, Ethereum takes it a step further. It's not just a cryptocurrency, it's a platform for building decentralized applications, also known as dApps. This is where we see things like smart contracts and NFTs starting to emerge.
NFTs, right, the digital collectibles everyone's talking about. But what exactly are they, and how do they connect to Ethereum?
NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, are basically digital certificates of ownership stored on a blockchain, often on Ethereum, representing anything from art and music to virtual real estate and even items in video games.
So it's like having a unique, verifiable digital signature proving you own something in the digital world.
Precisely. NFTs are changing how we think about ownership and value in the digital world.
That's pretty wild. Imagine owning a piece of digital art like you own a physical painting.
Exactly. And Ethereum's smart contracts are fueling a lot of this innovation.
Okay, now I'm really curious. What are smart contracts, and how do they work?
Think of it as a self-enforcing digital agreement that executes when certain conditions are met, like a traditional contract, but without the need for middlemen.
Ah, so it's about automating trust and transparency. I see how this could have massive implications for various industries.
Exactly. Supply chain management, real estate, even voting systems.
Wait, voting systems. Could blockchain tech really make elections more secure and transparent?
Absolutely. That's one of the exciting possibilities, using the power of blockchain to create tamper-proof voting systems.
We've gone from digital cash to revolutionizing democracy. Incredible.
That's the beauty of it all. This technology has the potential to disrupt and improve so many areas of our lives. It's truly remarkable.
Speaking of disruption, what about Central bank digital currencies. CBDCs, right? How do they fit in?
CBDCs are basically digital versions of traditional currencies issued by central banks. They're different from cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which are decentralized and operate independently.
So are CBDCs a way for governments to kind of jump on the crypto bandwagon?
You could see it that way. Some countries see CBDCs as a way to modernize their financial systems, improve efficiency, and potentially even increase financial inclusion.
But isn't that kind of contradictory to the whole idea of decentralized cryptocurrency?
That's a core debate surrounding CBDCs. Some argue that they could lead to increased government control and surveillance, while others see them as a natural evolution of money in our digital age.
Sounds like a complex issue. We'll have to delve deeper into CBDCs another time. For now, let's shift our focus to other trends shaping the crypto world.
Sounds like a plan.
You've already mentioned DeFi and NFTs. What else is on the horizon? What should we be paying attention to?
Well, Web3 is a major development you don't want to miss. A decentralized internet built on blockchain technology.
Web3, now that sounds futuristic. Paint a picture for me. What's that look like?
Imagine a web where users have more control over their data and content creators have true ownership of their work.
So taking the power back from big tech companies and giving it back to the people?
Exactly. And blockchain is at the center of making this vision a reality.
It feels like we're on the edge of a massive technological and societal shift.
We are. And the crypto world is constantly changing, which makes it such an exciting space to be a part of.
That's for sure. It's been a mind-blowing journey so far. But we're just getting started, right? There's so much more to explore.
Absolutely. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The world of crypto is vast and full of potential.
Well, listeners, buckle up, because we're about to dive even deeper into this exciting world.
I can't wait to see what we uncover next.
Me too. Web3, blockchain, crypto. So much to learn. I feel like we're exploring a whole new world.
It is a lot to take in, but that's what makes it so fascinating.
True. But you mentioned some downsides in our notes. What are some of the risks or challenges we should be aware of?
You're right. Like any powerful technology, it has its challenges. One you mentioned was the potential for misuse, right?
Yeah, I keep hearing about crypto being used for illegal stuff. How big of a problem is that really?
Well, it's important to be realistic about it. Any form of currency can be used for bad things, right? Cash, online payments, crypto. It's a tool.
So not inherently criminal, just a tool that can be misused, like any other.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, blockchain's transparency actually makes it easier to track these transactions.
Really? So more transparent than, say, traditional banking?
In many ways, yes. Law enforcement is increasingly using blockchain analysis to track down criminal activity.
Wow, that's interesting. The same transparency that makes it secure also makes it harder to hide illegal activity.
It's a double-edged sword. You also mentioned complexity as a challenge. I get that. It can feel overwhelming for newcomers.
Yeah, even for someone like me who's been reading about this stuff, I get lost in the jargon sometimes.
It's a steep learning curve, for sure. But there are so many resources out there now, and the community is incredibly helpful.
That's good to hear. What about the whole issue of regulation? Seems like governments worldwide are struggling with how to deal with crypto.
Regulation is definitely one of the biggest uncertainties in the crypto world. Every country seems to have a different approach.
From embracing it to banning it outright, yeah.
It's all over the map. It's such a complex issue. Governments want to protect people and prevent crime, but also don't want to stifle innovation.
Finding that balance is key. What could happen if they get it wrong?
Well, too much regulation could stifle the whole industry, drive it underground, but too little. And you risk scams, manipulation, people losing trust.
So it's a delicate dance, figuring out the right approach.
Exactly. The next few years will be interesting to watch, for sure.
So looking ahead, where do you see crypto going? Is it here to stay, or is it just a passing fad?
I'm convinced it's here to stay. It's more than just a tech thing. It's changing how we think about money, finance, power.
You're saying it's a cultural and societal shift even.
Exactly. Crypto empowers people, it's transparent, it challenges traditional power structures. These are ideas that resonate with a lot of people.
Okay, let's say you're right and crypto really takes off. What kind of impact could that have on the world?
Imagine a world where sending money is instant, cheap, and accessible to everyone.
No more waiting for bank transfers, no more crazy fees.
Potentially, yes. It could be huge, especially for people who don't have access to traditional banking.
Leveling the playing field in a way.
Exactly. More financial inclusion. and greater transparency and accountability in our financial systems.
But wouldn't that kind of turn things upside down? I mean, wouldn't those who benefit from the current system resist that?
Of course, there will be resistance. Any major shift in power dynamics faces pushback.
So it's not just about the technology, but the social and economic changes that could come with it.
It's a whole package. It's about how we interact with money, power, control.
We're talking about more than just a new kind of money, maybe even a paradigm shift in how society works.
That's a great way to put it. Crypto has the potential to reshape the world in profound ways.
So for our listeners trying to make sense of all this, what advice would you give them?
Approach crypto with a curious but critical mind. Don't buy into the hype or the fear. Research, understand the potential and the risks.
Don't just follow the crowd. Be an active participant in this conversation.
Exactly. The crypto world is ever-changing, so stay informed and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Solid advice. This feels like we're on a big journey of discovery as individuals and as a society. What's the one key insight you hope our listeners take away?
Remember, it's about more than just money. It's about empowerment, about innovation, and about the potential to build a more equitable world.
That's a powerful message. We're really just scratching the surface here.
We are. The future of crypto is still being written, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
Okay, on that note, it's time to wrap up this part of our deep dive. But don't worry, we're not done yet. We still have more to uncover in the world of crypto. Stay tuned. It's mind-blowing to think about crypto's potential. It's clearly more than just digital cash.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about the future of finance, even.
You know, one thing that comes up a lot is the environmental impact. All those computers running the blockchain got to use a ton of energy.
Yeah, that's a valid concern, for sure. And it's something the crypto community is actively working on. Some cryptos, especially ones using proof of work like Bitcoin, can be pretty energy intensive.
Proof of work, right? That's how transactions get verified or something.
It is, yeah. But there's a lot of research into more sustainable solutions, like proof of stake.
Proof of stake, that's a whole other thing,
Yeah.
right? Can you explain it in, like, simple terms?
Sure, imagine a lottery, right? Your chances depend on how many tickets you have. In proof of stake, the more tokens you hold, the more likely you are to be chosen to add blocks to the blockchain.
So, no more energy-guzzling mining operations.
Exactly. Much more efficient. Plus, there's a big push for renewable energy to power mining.
So solar, wind, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Mining farms using clean energy sources, it's a big focus for the future.
It's good to know they're taking it seriously. Seems like there's always a new challenge popping up and people are finding creative solutions.
That's the spirit of crypto, always innovating, pushing the boundaries.
So as we wrap up, any parting thoughts for our listeners on this crypto journey?
Stay curious, stay informed, and be ready to adapt. The crypto world changes fast.
Great advice. It's been an amazing deep dive. Thanks for sharing your expertise.
It was my pleasure. Always happy to talk crypto.
And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us. We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity about the future of finance. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next crypto pioneer. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the world around us.